Yo, what's good people? Welcome to the Wednesday Night Live. Boy, y'all in for it today. We and me and my man Tony Providence. I've tried to get all the curse words out, all the jokes. We gonna see what's gonna happen. Tony Providence, he sent me the most amazing bio. And I could just speak to the man's bio because I already know. But this brother is a fantastic drummer out of the Bay Area. I've had the opportunity to play many dope gigs with him. A little rock, a little funk. If you're into Prince, you can catch him with the Purple Ones out in the Bay Area. He has toured. Let me read. I got to read some of this stuff. Some of the people that this man has toured with: 311, Run DMC, Damian Marley, Pennywise, Outkast, Redman. My goodness, the list goes on and on and on. But we're going to bring him on. And I'm going to embarrass my homie real quick and say that Tony is one of those people. Everybody needs a friend in their life where you have to look over your shoulder and make sure that ain't nobody around you when you open up a text or a message from him. Send me pictures from the freak off. I mean, I'm sorry, my bad. I didn't mean to talk about that. Listen, y'all. Before we get started into this, we need to talk about it. I got a course coming out next month. Keybase Essentials, Keybase Fundamentals, actually. A bass player's guide to synth bass. In the description of this video, you'll find a free, I said free 99, a free setup guide. If you're a bass player that's looking to get Keybase into your bag, go down to one of the links in the description of this video. You can get that for free 99. If you own the Novation base station, you can also get your hands on my essential funk patches for the Novation base station. That is only $7. Tony, my man, you ready?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Well, we gonna get into it. We gonna so the tech is working here. Make sure you got all your clothes on.
All right.
Hey man, it's good to see you.
Man, it's always a blessing to see you, my brother. Always.
Is the light still on out there in the Bay right now? Y'all still got?
Oh no, we have blackouts and brownouts all the time, according to some people.
Hey, bro. You can take that a lot of different ways. It's a family show, homie.
Okay, we'll leave that alone.
We were talking about the freak off you went to, and
wow.
all right.
I thought you just said it's a family show.
We're gonna leave it alone. Man, I'm telling you, anytime this brother sends me something on Facebook,
man,
text, give me DM, I gotta look over my shoulder and say, hey man, let me make sure can't nobody see what I'm about.
I'm the king, baby. I'm the king.
And you need friends like that. Those are your real people. But look, man, what I want to talk about, we had Ashley Cole on last
Biscuit, my cousin.
Yeah, man. Excuse me. And really, I think this is a channel where bass players come. I do tips and tutorials, song tutorials, and things like that, and just kind of navigating that space. Being a working bass player. But I think a lot of times we are asking the right questions to the wrong people. We're learning the scales and the arpeggios and the licks and all this stuff. But then we get to the gig and the drummer is like, what you doing? You know what I'm saying? So I don't have a pre-scripted list of questions or anything like that. I just want to I just want to start by asking you, what are some of the top things that you look for in a bass player? What's gonna make you leave the night feeling like, yeah, that was hot.
You know, for me, first thing is your rig, your
Okay.
sound, man. Your sound's got to be right. You
Okay.
know, because you know, from a rhythm section standpoint, we're the foundation. So if that bottom isn't there, man, it's really hard for me to lock in and connect with the bass player. You know,
It's
so
fun.
that's like very important to me.
It's funny how like, man, I know this is gonna sound kind of bad, but when somebody walks in, like the way that they carry their gear, just the way that their gear is, you could tell, if this person had invested in some gear, you know what I'm saying? And that could go both ways. That could go both ways. There's also, there's also the times when you could say, dang, maybe you shouldn't have spent that much on gear and maybe spent a little bit on lessons. Ooh.
Ooh.
Ooh, ooh,
Yee.
ouch. That hurt. That was.
Mm. I'm not even a bass player, and that hurt me. If somebody said something like that to me, that hurt my heart.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry,
then we
Tony.
got then we got to fight.
It's been a day. It's been a day. Did I tell you I got a flat tire too?
No, no,
Yeah.
no.
After I get off with you, I got to go outside and get the jack. And it's a foreign car, so you got to do this. You know what I mean?
Oh
It's like
man.
Arsenio Hall. Anyway, so you you can tell right off the bat when somebody's walking in.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yo, this gonna go a couple of different ways. What's your favorite bass rigs? What when a guy walks in and they got like, a little Fender Rumble, how you feel about that? What makes you go, damn, this gonna be good?
You know, I'll be honest with you. I'm not into. I don't know all the gear names and all the tech names. I mean, I've been the majority of a lot of cats I've been seeing are using like Trickfish or what is it, Mark Bass or all those things. But to me, I've gotten to a point where I automatically have you put in my ears, and I've got a sub EQ mix next to me, so I'm gonna have you fat in my ears no matter what, even if you was playing through a tin can. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
for the reason of always getting shortchanged on stage and not getting that sound. So
Man, I know the rigs are getting smaller and smaller.
man.
Daryl's been talking a lot to me about these Trickfish amps. I've been hearing a lot about Trickfish. You,
Mm-hmm.
I'm I've been Aguilar a long time, and I'm still rocking the GS 112s for like local stuff. I rock two of them things, but I need to push some air. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
I need to.
I know that's the old school mentality. But some of these cats be coming in with these little lunchbox things,
Yeah,
and they're like shaking the ground with it. I
yeah,
don't understand it.
yeah. I can't make a Mark bass sound good for nothing. That's me. That stuff that don't sound good in my particular hands. You know what I mean? Um, hold on a second. I gotta I gotta do this. Oh, wait a minute. We building a plane. Oh, that's sexy, ain't it? Look at that. Y'all going to hit that like button. I got 13 people up in here, 13 sets of eyes and 2 likes. Y'all going to hit that like button and the subscribe button. Let's see those super chats. I was gonna say something because it's you, Tony, but
Don't blame that madness on me.
I'm
I already
I'm
know.
David. Let's talk. Let's talk about. Let's talk about Pocket, man. I want to hear from your perspective. Define or explain Pocket as you understand it.
Man, to me, I come from the old school where less is more. And when you talk about from a drummer standpoint, two, four on the floor, the 2-4. If you lay into that thing pocket, man, I don't care what everybody else is playing around you. It's locked.
Yeah.
And I look at the same thing from a bass player. I mean, I've been blessed enough to play with some bad dudes, you know what I mean, across both sides of the spectrum, from funk to metal.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But it's all the same, man. If you can lay down and lay back in that pocket with me, and I don't have to be at the front of the bus driving it, pulling you back or pushing you,
Yeah.
man,
Yeah.
it's amazing, man.
You know, I think a part of having, you know, pocket playing is having good time. And
Yes.
I'll tell anybody, man, this is gonna sound, I've said it before, and it sounds arrogant as all hell, and I don't mean for it to sound. I really don't. I really don't. I really don't. But I have an impeccable sense of time. And that does not mean that I don't speed up or slow down. I think everybody speeds up and slows down. It's natural, right? It's
It's
human
sometimes necessary.
and sometimes necessary. And that's my point, is having a good sense of time is being aware of when you're speeding up and slowing down, and being able to adjust that without the people in the audience or everybody in the band being uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, you know what it's like, man, when somebody's just like, oh, they go from here all the way to here. It's like, man, look, you ain't got to flip the switch. Just find the dimmer and just, you know what I'm saying? Do like,
Right.
do like that. So, um, you know, I keep at the risk, you know, I never want to sound like one of these old cats, man, that's just like admonishing, um, you know, the younger musicians or whatever, but like everybody's into the chop thing. Not everybody. So many are into the chop thing, and I think it's dope. You know what I mean? It's not really my thing, but man, if you can't mix the chop with like solid groove fundamentals, then I'm not interested in the chop. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I talked about pocket. I'm gonna bring up the word groove, right? We always get, you ask somebody what groove is, and you get all these different answers. How do you
Right.
how do you uh, how do you define groove?
To me, groove is a feeling. It's a feeling. You know, one thing for me when I'm playing, I do a lot of people watching. I'm always watching the crowd because to me, the crowd is my meter. So if I see once I see people start getting that, they start getting that bop, I know the groove and the timing and the pocket is there.
Yeah,
You know, I've played with some people that it's hard for them to. It's hard for you to get that groove because they either play too far back or they play too far ahead of the groove. They don't just. And there's a happy medium on both ends, but man, the groove ain't right, dude. It's like an earache, man. It
yeah.
drives me crazy. It's man, it hurts.
Man, it's interesting you say that about um excuse me one second. We have an interesting operation right here. That phone, that the camera is actually my cell phone that I neglected to charge before we got on here. Tiny, thank you for the $20 super chat. Y'all,
Hey,
let
that's
me
my
explain.
guy.
Let me explain something to y'all. Y'all need to take a page out of Tiny's book and go on and throw a super chat. Oh, Danielle, thank you. The I gotta say this. I gotta say this real quick. That is actually a Samsung television back there. So sometimes I have it rotating pictures. And while we're at it, that Sign of the Times era picture of Prince, let's go on and say rest in peace to Cat Glover. It's
Yeah,
crazy,
man.
man. Looking at pictures of Prince, Cat, and Bonnie, and realizing that they're all gone. Bonnie left us a long time, like in the '90s, right?
Yeah, yeah. Later mid '90s. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's crazy. But and we could talk about that for a long time. But rest in peace to Cat Glover. Um, one time you ever play with Latoya London?
No,
Okay, so
no.
another Bay Area singer. A lot of people know her from American Idol. Anyway, it was New Year's Eve. I don't know if you remember Maxwell's in Oakland.
Oh my gosh.
You remember that? So we got this New Year's Eve gig, and I don't know how this situation happened, but the drummer was uh the drummer got hired like the day before or something like that. And we had a chance to go to rehearsal, thank God, at Soundwave. So we go to Soundwave, and I'm like looking
Wait,
at,
wait, hold on. Hold that. Which sound wave? Because there's
man,
two.
the Soundwave under the bridge, the only one.
Oh my goodness. The one that looks like Escape from New York.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, a lot of good music was made up in there, boy.
Those walls could speak.
Walt, boy, let me explain something to you. I told you this is a family show, bro.
I
Sound
digress.
Soundwave is a great place to rehearse.
Yes.
However you define rehearsing. Anyway, so so I knew this was gonna be a mess. So so damn it, I lost my train of thought. Okay, so the drummer, we're in there rehearsing, and I could tell she's not feeling it. Right? I could tell she's not feeling it. And I told this young man the best way I knew how. You got to look at her behind. That was the words I had that was the vocabulary I had at the time. Man, if she's not moving, and I'm not saying in a sexual, I'm just like, if she's standing there, if the singer, whoever the singer is, male or female, don't matter. Boy, like Prince said, boy, girl, don't matter. I'm hot. If they're not moving, man, something ain't happening. You'll know when it's right, because I feel like with drums and bass, with every instrument, but particularly drums and bass, it's got to be a trust fall. You know what I mean? It's a trust fall. I played with a cat just last weekend who I can't even remember the dude's name, and which is a shame. But we met.
Or not.
No, it's a really shame, because we met, and I had never played with him before. We just on this gig, and I gotta trust the band leader that he didn't hire somebody that's dope, as one does. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And as soon as it's like the first 4 bars, I'm like, oh yeah, this is gonna be a fantastic night. You know, this gonna be a evening. You know what I'm saying? And it was. Aside from the rig, let's say you're at a gig and it's, first song or sound check, or even sound check. What's the thing that's going to make you think, okay, we're in good shape, or the thing that makes you say, God, dog it, we going to have a long night?
Yeah, I'm gonna be giving up a little bit of my secret insights on this one. Things that I do.
Don't call no name.
Yeah, no, we're not gonna do that. The names have been changed to protect the innocent.
Or the guilty. Shit.
Or the guilty, exactly. Whenever I do sound check, funny that you say that. It's like once I get my drums dialed in, and they always tell you, well, go through the whole kit. I'll always look to my bass player and I'll tell him, hey, groove with me on this, because of course sonically I want to make sure that he's loud enough or I'm not too loud. Right. And we'll go through and play some grooves, and I'll know, right, like you said, man, 2-3 seconds in, if this is going to be an interesting, fun gig, or if it's going to be a babysitting gig where I'm going to have to really stay in my lane and be straight ahead through the whole thing right away.
What do you like tone wise?
Man, from a bass player, I like to feel my pant legs shaking.
Okay. So none of this. So none of this crispy high stuff. None of this crispy high stuff that peeking your
I
ears
want that bass tone like thick, like fog, like I gotta cut through it.
like a fart in the car.
Man, it's like a fart in a 2-liter bottle of Coke. In there.
Okay. Family show. Oh my! Y'all remind me not to bring nobody else from Oakland.
Town business, baby.
Town business. Hey, let me get a word from our sponsors in here. Listen, y'all, if you are a bass player that's using the Novation bass station and you want to get some good old funk sounds for your Novation bass station, there's a link below this video where you can cop my go-to sounds for $7. Ain't gonna cost you nothing but $7 to get those sounds for the Novation bass station. Also, I have a pack. I'm sorry, a setup guide for the Novation bass station and just synth bass in general. If you want to check that out, you can get that absolutely for free. Back to the program. You like the way I did that? I'm getting
smooth
better.
Like butter.
Hey, listen, I'm getting better at this. You know, we build the plane while we flying it, and we getting better at this. So, who's your? Oh man, I almost asked you a loaded.
Oh, see, don't you do it?
I almost asked you a loaded question. I was going to ask you who your favorite bass player was, and if you didn't say it was me and you said Brian Dean, I was going to be quite upset. That is not the question I was going to ask. But who you playing with right now?
Man, like I said, man, I'm blessed. I played with some good cats, some great cats, some legends. Right now, I'm playing with Rusty Allen. So,
now, for those who don't know, Tony, won't you give them a little rundown of who Rusty Allen is?
Man, whew. Rusty Allen was the bass player that basically took over in Sly and the Family Stone for one. Yes, I mean, and Robin Trower. I mean, this dude he's been all over the map.
If you want me to stay out.
Yeah, Bobby Womack, all of that,
man. All that. It's amazing, man. Like, I feel like so lucky to have grown up in New Orleans and gotten that scene, but then moving to the Bay and being out in the Bay for so long and just rubbing shoulders and playing with legends. I remember the first time I met Rusty Allen, we was at a thing. It was some expo or something like that in downtown Oakland, some event down there. And he was just, hi, I'm Rusty Allen. And he
so humble.
I was like, do. How that's I recognize it for the bass line.
That Rusty Allen?
Oh God. Yeah, man. This is what I want to know. This is what I want to do right now, Tony, is I want to encourage people in the chat that if you have any questions for Tony, is there a thing that you're trying to get or understand about playing live, locking in with a drummer? Me and Tony, we haven't had a face-to-face conversation in a while. So we gonna act a little bit of a fool, but I do want you guys to get maximum value out of this. So start dropping questions. There's 13 sets of eyes on here, Tony, and only 6 likes. I don't know what's going on, man. Oh my God. That was good, huh? Was that good?
You just need the violin music in the background. That's all that was missing. You got to get your little samples, man. You got to get your samples.
I know.
That's all you missing, man.
I need that one that goes womp 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 womp.
Yeah, what is that? Price is Right, right?
Yeah. That's what I need. And I see now that I know that I have these here available, Wait a minute. People started hitting the
Oh
like.
man.
People started hitting the like button. Now, Tiny threw a $20 super chat up in there. Let's get them super chats. Let's get them super chats popping.
So let's talk about that man right there. That dude. Woo.
Yeah,
Man.
let's talk about now. This is a different Tiny, but we talking about Tiny Lindsay, who is
Oh, that's what I thought. Okay.
no.
Yeah.
This is a different Tiny, but let's talk about Michael Tiny Lindsay for a second.
Mm.
That dude is like the definition of groove to me.
That dude is a freak of nature.
Yeah. What do you like best about let's go there. Let's go there. There's a lot of things I really love about Tiny's playing. Particularly like he could be soloing his ass off and like never break a sweat. And I mean, he'd be sitting there, just playing the most intricate stuff and just be having like this look on his face like, man, I could really
Man.
Look,
I tell you what, I can't remember where I was. I was out somewhere and he was doing a little shed gig someplace.
Yeah.
I know it was in Jack London Square. I can't remember. Man, this brother, he was playing and it was some odd time meter jazz really fast.
Yeah.
He's soloing with his left hand. He's texting with his right. I swear to God, he was crocheting something with his feet. And it was all effortless.
Hey. Hey. I hope he hear us talking about him. Yeah, and another thing that I like about I love about Tiny is he's so down to earth. Like you could always tell the cats are like the real dope cats be like super down to earth. You know what I'm saying? The a-holes be the cats, that really ain't, as good as they think they are. And so they overcompensate.
Yeah,
they overcompensate with some of that other stuff. But Tiny is something else.
Yeah, we used to get in trouble with him with Levi because he'd be playing. We'd be in the middle of the shows and he'd be cracking jokes and me and him making faces at each other. We're not even paying attention to whatever else is going on. And you know how you can feel that heat, like something looking at you? Man, I would stop and I would look over. And Levi would be giving me that death stare, man, like your grandma give you when you're in the backseat being too loud in the car. Man.
Hey man, but Levi, but hold on though. Levi is a character.
He's another one.
Levi is a character. I don't know if you remember his project Love Jet.
Yes.
So
yes.
With Milena, rest in peace, Milena. Man, dude, I just thought about her. That's crazy. I was in that project with her. I used to play in Night Fever with her too. Damn, that's crazy, boy. We losing a lot of people. But Levi would he would always do this thing when somebody made a mistake, like he'd pull a grenade from his back.
Yes.
Here you go.
He still do it, and he do the bounce.
Yeah, he do the bounce.
he's still doing it.
Oh man! But you know what's crazy though was I started playing with Levi pretty regularly right around the time when Prince passed. So there'd be times, man, when he would go off into a story about Prince and the rehearsal would just basically stop. But it was like, it wasn't like a dude talking about a megastar. It was a dude talking about his partner.
His friend. Yeah.
His friend, just a regular cat. He'd get this 1,000-yard stare and when it comes to rehearsals, I record stuff. So I have recordings of some of these that I would
storytelling.
No, I would never share them with anybody. I would never share them with anybody. And nobody, if I happen to kick the bucket, nobody would find them. But the password is
right. DM that to me.
Nah, man, no, it was a real trip. But now his son Michael Anthony was playing drums too,
Mm-hmm.
which I
Yeah.
I think is common knowledge. But his son has a hearing impediment.
Correct.
Don't stop his pocket
You
though.
wouldn't know.
No, you wouldn't know it. Tiny. Yes, we are talking about Levi Caesar Jr. From the MPG. Tony. Boom. Yes. I'm still looking for.
I hate to admit, I caught a few of those grenades once or twice, but never more than 5. Let me tell you.
Hey, man. Listen. It's real education. He told. I don't know if he ever told you this, but I've heard he said it to me, and I heard him say it to other people. But like something to the effect of, don't don't be going out on a ledge if you haven't already worked it out. You know what I'm saying? One of the best stories Levi ever told was talking about going on stage with Prince at Madison Square Garden. He said he looked at Prince and he said, "Good luck." He said Prince looked up at him and said, "Man, I don't need luck. I practice."
Yeah, never that. Yeah,
And,
he said that. I've heard that a few times.
So when I was teaching band in Oakland, I would sporadically say, "We don't need luck," and the band's response had to be, "We practice." You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So with that, I'm gonna ask you about preparation when it comes to bass players. What's the immediate tell? What's a sign for you that a bass player, particularly, is not prepared to do the gig?
There's a lot of different signs. Some people don't have the poker face. Instantly, when you start the groove or you're getting into the song, they have that deer in the headlight looks, and you know. But I mean, the main thing is it all depends on the band. Playing in some of the bands that I play in, everything there's no skating through it. You're gonna be sticking out like a sore thumb if you didn't practice your parts, because there's odd time meters, there's breaks in the songs, all that.
You're doing the First Avenue review as well, right?
Yeah, I do that, and you got to check out my new group I got, man, Blackstone Funk Revival.
Blackstone Funk Revival, that's with Sean, right?
Yeah. That's our latest thing that we're doing right now.
That's a cold cat. That's how would you describe that vibe?
To me, it's the Oakland vibe with big Minneapolis influence. I mean, everybody that hears it swears that we're from Minneapolis. Yeah. Everybody.
But Minneapolis, man, it's crazy. New Orleans, Oakland, Minneapolis, they have a line. There is a line in there. You know what I'm saying? Like the New Orleans thing is there's not an enclave of black people nowhere in the country that you can't trace back to Louisiana. You can't, right? And so like New Orleans funk has got a lilt. I call it a lilt. You know what I'm saying?
A lilt.
A lilt. It's a little raggedy in like good ways. You know what I'm saying? It's looser, right? Now, if you look at Oakland, like Tower Power is a little bit more rigid. Was a lot more rigid. You know what I'm saying? Very, tight 16th notes and stuff like that. It's not as swampy as here. But then you got this circulation of Oakland and don't forget Ohio funk. We can't forget Ohio funk. OH. Somebody said IO. Anyway, but you got the Minneapolis and Oakland connection. You know what I'm saying? So let's go back to uh let's go back to preparedness. You know, one of my favorite things is like, well, shit, man, it ain't gonna play itself. You know what I mean? There's some songs and some gigs that just are not gonna play themselves. I feel that same way about drummers. Drummers and bass players, man, we just don't have the same luxury as other people to come in and just, you know, my favorite thing to say is I kind of know it fairy, where we just like do a little lick here and there and it's gonna sound kind of cool. You know what I'm saying? It's not like that with us because we are the foundation. If we're not hitting hitting the brakes, or we're not, or if it's like, all right, I haven't prepared, so now I have to rely on the drummer, or the bass player
vice versa.
Vice versa. It's like, man, we can't lock because we got to pay attention to too much stuff.
Yeah, you carrying somebody.
You feel? Yeah. Man, I ain't trying to carry nobody. I ain't trying to carry nobody. Let's talk about Brian Dean. When's the last time you played with Brian?
Man, it's so long I can't tell you.
Really?
Yeah.
Because you cats used to play all the time.
Yeah, it's like we kind of went like this, you know. Really? It's like I went to this side of doing this, you know, genre, like, you know, the whole Prince vibe and all that, and that took up so much of my time. Right. And you know, he's always been kind of in the other direction, right, of covering everything else from jazz to, you know, so we kind of just got so busy individually that we just, you know, no projects ever came up where we were able to say, hey, you know, because that's what we used to do. If somebody said, hey, man, I need a bass player, I got just a guy for you, you know.
Right.
But that dude, he's busier than me. You know, you can't get him any to play.
He stay playing. You know, Brian is a beautiful cat, man. Just a beautiful dude, in my opinion. You know, I'm glad he wears shoes now. I said it out loud.
I'm not touching it. I'm not touching it.
Feet, or what I just said?
Huh?
His feet? You're not touching?
Yes. I'm not taking the bait for you talking about that man putting shoes on his feet. I'm not doing it.
Hey, wasn't y'all at the freak off though? We gonna talk about freak off. Man, I wish that we could talk about live what we were talking about before, but we can't.
Oh no. It's a family show, man.
Family show. But we have seen some things. I done seen and heard some things. And
man, speaking of Brian Dean, dude, to go back to that, I like randomly I laugh when I think of you two guys together. I think of the time when we went to NAMM. Yeah, the three of us when we were together. And you and him had this thing going, you guys were going tit for tat on who could come up with the corniest joke. Do you remember that? You guys were telling us, man.
Hold on, player. Hold on, player.
You don't remember that?
Hold on, player. I do remember. I ain't never told no corny jokes.
Look, see, here you go with that again. Y'all was going back and forth.
Doc, I ain't never told no corny jokes. Every joke I ever have told is fire. I'm gonna tell you one right now.
Oh boy. Okay.
A priest, a pastor, and a rabbit walk into a blood bank. And the nurse says, "What's your blood type?" And the rabbit says, "I think I'm a type O."
That's what I'm talking about, see? That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's what you needed. You really need that sound from The Price is Right now.
Womp, womp, womp. Y'all get it? Type of 1 in the chat if y'all got it. If y'all got it. You get it? A priest, a pastor, and a rabbit. I'm a type O.
Type O. They don't get it.
They don't get it. Must be a bunch of bass players.
And drummers.
must be some Danielle Gaskins.
Hey, Danny Six.
Danny Six says she don't get it.
Ooh.
Womp, 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 womp. I'm gonna get that sound in here.
I'm gonna have to look for it and send it to you.
Hey Danielle, you gonna make me have to tell that joke again, but not right now. But not right now. Not right now. Give me some more of your thoughts. Give me some more of your thoughts on. So you're saying to me, what I'm hearing you say is that you want a bass player to walk in prepared with decent gear and big ears. That's pretty much it.
Pretty much.
That's pretty much it, right?
Am I asking a lot?
No, I don't think so. Y'all type in the chat. Is he asking a lot? Don't just be sitting there looking at us, looking at you, looking at us. Get involved. Get into it.
I mean, if there's
Danielle
anything
said, please
out of those...
no. She said, please no. She said, please no. So this guy walks into a bar, right?
Oh my goodness. What did I create?
Hold on a second. This is such a good one, and I think I can tell this joke on the live. This is a good one. Are you guys ready? Thank you. So this guy walks into a bar. Oh my God. I might regret this. Either I'm going to regret this or people are going to be like, oh man, that's it. I have to tune in every Wednesday. So this guy walks into a bar and he pulls out this piano and he sits it on the bar. And the bartender's like, man, that is really cool. He's got this piano. It's about this big, right? And the guy says, but wait, watch this. So he goes back into his bag and he pulls out this little man and he sits him on a stool by the piano. And the little man is just like playing the crap out of this piano, man. The little guy, he's like, dude, that is so cool. Where did you get that? He's like, there's a genie out in the alley. Why don't you go talk to the genie? And he goes out there and then he comes back in. He got this disappointed look. And the guy with the piano, he's like, man, what's the problem? He says, man, I went out there. I asked for my wish. I had all these ducks around my feet. I didn't ask for 1,000,000 ducks. And the guy says, I didn't ask for a 12-inch pianist either.
Boy, you're straddling the line. Did you get that one, Danny? Did you get that one?
96, did you get that one? I told you this was a family show. For those of you who missed it, I just told a fantastic joke that I probably shouldn't have told. I probably should have.
And don't tell it again. Do not repeat it.
Don't tell it. Like my mama used to say, boy, don't repeat that to nobody.
Oh man.
My mama used to say, Ted, don't say that again. Don't say that again.
Don't repeat that to nobody, please.
She's looking down at me right now. I said, Ted, don't say that again.
You gonna feel that pop on the back of your head.
Hey, bro, sometimes I do feel that pop. I'd be in the middle of doing something and I could see my mama say, Ted, don't say that. Ted, don't.
Something you ain't supposed to be doing.
Bro, not Ted. Don't do that. Don't do that. Give me something else. Give me another hot one. Give me another hot one. What's a missing ingredient? What's a missing ingredient? What's a thing like besides the gear, besides the ear, besides the preparedness? What is the sign, right, of a bass player that make you say, this is a person that I want to play with often?
I think bass players, it's just like the chemistry of a relationship with somebody. Everybody's different. You can't get along with every bass player. Some bass players you lock in more than you do with others.
Yeah.
You know, prime example, my boy Larry Hart, rock bass player. This dude and we have that chemistry no matter what music we're playing. We lock, you know, and I can't explain to you in words what it is. It's kind of like how Prince used to say, you know, describe, they ask him describe funk, and he tell you can't describe it. It's a feeling.
Right.
You know, it's the same thing, you know. Some people I lock with better than others. Some people I just get by with. And I can't really say what it is.
How much do you think of that is personality?
That's a good point. I think a lot of it is. A lot of it is like anything else, you know. People's, you know, the vibe they give off is what they give off when they're playing.
Yeah, I definitely think that people play like who they are. You know what I mean? To a degree. I mean, that's painting with a broad stroke, but I do think that people play. Yeah, it's hard for me. You know, there's a professionalism thing, right? Where you might be in a situation with people that you might not really, you know, vibe with totally, but I can't really play with people I don't like. I can't. Listen, can I just keep it a buck? Can I keep it a stack? You know what I'm saying? As the kids say, like for real, I can't. I can. I mean, I can, but it's very hard for me to play with people that I don't like or don't respect, or if I feel like they don't like or respect me. I understand that we're there to do a job. However, there is a spiritual side of music as well. You know what I'm saying? There's a connection with that. And there's always those that you know, the music, the money to hang, you know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of things that come in that hang. And I'm like, I just don't, man. You know, like the last time I vividly remember the last time that we played together. Remember it was one of those things with Prince Damon's, and we hung out. We had breakfast together. You remember that?
Yeah.
We had Nate singing and Julian Hoover on guitar, and we just sitting there cracking jokes the whole time, you know. And it's like once we got to the stage, man, we can have fun. We know the music.
Mm-hmm.
That's at this point, but we've connected. We've told stories. We've joked. We've broke bread. Now, when we get on the stage, we can do the thing.
It's like a family unit now. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. So that's what I mean. There's musicians that I know that are fine musicians. You know what I mean? But I ain't just like, you know, excited to see them when they walk in the door. Like, oh yay, this month. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
there's been a lot of gigs that I've gotten like that it's not on really your talent more than it is your, you know, your personality. Because a lot of these cats, like, when you're talking, especially doing tours and stuff,
yeah,
you know, they're like, man, if I can't be on the bus with you or crammed up in a room with you for 24 hours, man, I don't want to be on tour with you. I don't care how good you are.
Yeah.
Because it's a miserable, you know, that vibe and that energy comes out on stage.
Right. I like for a cat, you know, I like to talk as much as the next person, but I'd be liking for folks to know how to read the room and, you know when to shut up. You feel me? Hey man, Tiny wants to know what gear are you rocking right now? What cymbals he want to know. He said, what drums set, cymbals, and lumber? It's a technical term right there. That must be some drummer talk.
That's drummer talk right there. Talk about the wood.
Family show.
Drums, I played DW. I've been with DW for, man, over 10 years, 10, 15 years now. So, I mean, in my opinion, they are the Ferrari of drums. You know, I've never played on a bad set of DWs, ever. No matter where I've been, if it's a backline kit, you know, the house kit at the church, if it's a DW kit, it's gonna sound right and decent, better than most. You know, so I love them. I've been with them for a while. I don't plan on going anywhere anytime soon either.
Hmm? What about cymbals?
Cymbals. I've been with Saluda Cymbals out of South Carolina.
I never even heard
with them. Yeah, man, they're you know what? They're like one of the best kept secrets. I've been with them for 15 years now, so they've been around for a while. But they are not a factory cymbal company. They are a one-off cymbal company. You know, I call them and I tell them what I want. And I mean, prime example, this is how in tune they are with the music. I call the owner of the company and I say, hey man, I need you to make me some hi-hats that sound like the hi-hat in Sugar Walls.
Wow. And they just make them custom. Wait a minute. I told you this was a family show. And not only do you bring up some obscure track from the 80s that these young people don't know about that song, then it's Sugar Walls of all. Why you gotta say
that's the sound?
Why you gotta say nasty shit, Ray?
And ain't nobody see that one went right past everybody if you didn't go ahead and pull them back into it. Nobody knew what we were talking about. only the purple heads.
Hey, I'm about to have fun with these sounds. I'm about to like get all the sounds queued up because now I'm excited about the sound.
A monster.
Hey, you know, now I know that you play a large kit, so I'm not going to. I'm not disparaging you at all or other cats that play large kits, but I'm gonna tell you as a bass player, because you know how to work all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, I sound like an old man, huh? He know how to work it.
That boy good. That boy good.
He know how to work on it. But for me, as a bass player, man, if a drummer comes in and they got kick, snare, hi-hat, and cymbal. If you could be like, man, I've said to people before, man, I don't need John Bonham, I need Questlove. And if you can make those bare essentials of the kit sound interesting or be musical through the night, you're the cat for me. I know this is about what drummers want from bass players, but look at the chat and Tiny, don't co-sign on that stuff with Tony. Providence. It's a family show. I don't want to alienate my audience. Anyway, so that's what, you know, that's what I'll be looking for is how musical can you be with the bare amount. Oh, you know what, dude? I'm tripping. There is video of me and you playing at one of the Purple Funk SF joints.
Oh,
you remember that?
And that's just like what you said. What did I have? A kick, a snare,
yeah,
and one cymbal.
I don't even think you had. I don't think you had no pads. You know what it was?
We had a DJ. We had Willie.
Was it Spooky or was it Pope?
Yeah, it was Spooky and High Top and oh my gosh, the man of many names. High Top, Miguel.
Yeah. But we were doing
Spooky.
That's right. And what was the name? I can't remember the name of the club for some reason.
I could see the club. I remember we had to lug our gear upstairs and around the bend. And
Over there by Everett and Jones. By
yeah, yeah. It wasn't the Fireside. It was, I can't remember what the name of the club was.
I'm
But
sure it's
yeah, they were playing Stump the Musician. They were spinning the records, and you and I had to match the songs and figure out what they were doing.
yeah, man.
Yeah, I remember that video.
That was right around that was right around the time. That was right shortly before soon before I left to
Yeah,
come
you left shortly after that.
come back to New Orleans. Man, look, if the cost of living wasn't so outrageous out there, I don't miss the
It's
traffic.
getting worse. It's worse.
Yeah, I don't miss the traffic. I don't miss the traffic. Hey,
It gets
y'all,
worse.
we about to land this plane. So if y'all got some drummer questions, man, go on, throw them down there. Cause me and Tony, cause we having fun today. This is one.
Oh, Tiny, my bad. One more thing to answer your question as far as lumber,
Mm,
drumsticks. Um, I bounce between Vader 8As, um, Vader 5Bs, and right now I got an endorsement with a company called Solo Beat, and they make me these really, really nice. They're some Oaks 5As, and they put a texture end on it because I mean a lot of you guys, most of you don't know, I had a really bad hand injury about 5-6 years ago where I almost lost my hand, but I don't have the feeling in my hand like I used to, so I have to use these textured sticks, or I might impale some people on stage because I don't have the feeling in my hand like I used to.
wow, dude, I didn't know that.
Yeah, man,
There was
bad accident at work.
at the machine place, right?
Yeah.
Dude, there was a drummer back in the day. I don't remember this guy's name, but it's similar situation. Uh, and I almost saw this guy get into a actual fist fight with the MD at Soundwave. Soundwave, boy, it used to go down at Soundwave, boy.
Still does.
It
It's
used to go,
crazy over there now.
oh, it used to go down in Soundwave. But my man had like a roll of carpet, like one of them big rolls of carpet. Something fell on him, and he didn't have any feeling in his complete
Mm.
left side. But he was still a dope drummer, and I was like, man, I don't even understand how that's even possible. So you're saying you have partial feeling?
I have feeling, which really weird. Is like I have feeling on the top part of my hand
Uh huh.
and in the palm of my hand, but from here up on all my fingertips, I got no feeling.
Wow. So is it like a explain what how the stick is made?
The stick is it's like serrated on the back half of it, so it's
Okay.
got a bunch of ridges in it, which doesn't make it slip out of my hand. And then it's got the paint that they put on it is like a kind of a grip tape kind of paint.
Okay. So
So
it doesn't, and you still can't feel it. It just keeps it from slipping.
falling out, right?
Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it.
It's
Wow.
like I can feel that I'm holding it tight in my forearm. So my forearm is kind of like the leader. So I
Got,
can feel how tight I'm holding on to it.
got it.
But I don't have the feeling in my hand,
Got it.
which
Wow.
is crazy.
Wow. Wow. I want to ask you one last question before we land this plane. Along the lines of Tiny's gear question. I know that you use pads also.
Mhm.
Is that the Roland? What are you using?
A few different things. The primary brain is the Roland SPD SX. That thing's a monster, man. I mean,
Eight.
I still haven't. It's 3, 6. It's 9. You've got 3 on the rim, 3, and then 2 rows of big squares. I use that, and then I use DOS pads,
Okay.
triggering pads.
Mostly with well, you probably use that with the first Ave band.
Everything.
with everything, because I know the Black Stone Funk Revival, you kind of need those Lynn claps and all that.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
claps and the snares. Yeah, and I use D drum triggers too. I've been a trigger dude for like 20 plus years, so I've always had my entire drums triggered, to match the sounds of the songs that we're doing or the recordings.
right.
Yeah.
I love that you're one of the cats that invests in the toys. You got the that basic bottom end, but then when it sound like, damn, that sound like the record. It's that extra little spice. Hey Tony, man, look, I appreciate you being here, bro.
Thank
Man,
you for having me, man.
listen,
It's good seeing you, man, and talking to you.
you too. Hey, I'm supposed to be in the Bay soon.
This year or next year?
Next year I'm gonna be out the country, but
Okay.
but November.
Okay.
November. So we need to talk. That I can't be letting all the people know where I'm gonna be, because I owe Tiny some money. He might put a hit out of.
And I can't peel him off of you, man.
Hey, listen, we're gonna do a members only chat and talk about the freak off later on. I just keep saying that because I hope it'll trigger the algorithm in a good way. Hey man, look,
freak off.
Love you, bro. It's good to see you, man. We'll talk soon.
Man.
All right, man.
Yes,
thanks y'all for watching.
bless.
We'll see
Thank
y'all
everybody
next
for watching.
Wednesday.
All right.
Thanks, Tony.
Peace.
Peace.